6 non-directive listening behaviors that we want to focus on. The first, these two are together because they're nonverbal, so I linked them together. Attending behavior is just having eye contact, leaning forward, head nods, facial expressions, right? You're communicating to the listener that you're paying attention, that you're engaged, that what they say has value, and they're picking up on those nonverbals. And what it does is it just elicits more of a response from the speaker, and they feel heard, right? So it's just a basic behavior. You're not even saying anything, but you're communicating the message that you're engaged and you're listening, you're paying attention, and that encourages them to dig a little deeper. Silence is similar, and it's obviously the absence of verbal activity, but it puts the focus and the emphasis on the speaker, and it allows them to elaborate and maybe get new insights into what they're trying to communicate. This is very different from the Barbie video, where you're using no words in your set. Now, of course, you've got to practice these, right? You've got to pay attention to what you're doing and thinking. You don't want to look like this while you're trying to do the nonverbal skills, right? You don't want to look like Samuel L. Jackson while you're trying to focus on paying attention. That'll send the wrong message. So these all got to work together. So those are the first two, right? There's 6. The third is paraphrase. Now, paraphrase it seems really simple, but I see it in all the marriage and family literature. And what you do is it's in a reflection or rephrasing of the content you just heard. So if someone says a few sentences, a paragraph, then you just paraphrase back what they just said in your own words. And when you do that, what it does is it communicates that you're paying attention, and it assures that the speaker's been heard. And so they respond. I've seen dramatic responses in just using this paraphrase technique. So it is valuable in relationship. Clarification is the fourth. Now, clarification is more specific when you want to dial in on what someone has said specifically. You'll restate that. Now, they have followed by a question, did I get that right? But you're communicating that you're tracking, and you hone in on an important concept, and then you restate that. And what that does for them is it assures that you are hearing them accurately, and that you're touching on some important concepts for them to elaborate on, and of course they felt heard and understood. The fifth, and now this one is a big one. The fifth is reflection of feeling. And you can use this, we use this a lot in therapy. But it's a restatement or a rephrasing of clearly stated emotion. So if someone's going on about a subject and you're tracking them and you're using all these other things, and you see that they're getting agitated, you can simply say that must be frustrating, right? And it seems like it's small. But what you're doing is you're allowing them to switch from a mode of cognition where they're trying to just tell you about all this information, and they slow down and they actually feel what they're talking about. Because a lot of times they're trying to communicate it to see if you get it, and it's frustrating that you're not picking up on it. So if you can use reflection of feeling, then the speaker gets to just sit and listen and feel that emotion. And then connect with you that, yeah, you got it. And so it just enhances that experience of empathy and encourages further exploration. This has its roots in Rogerian therapy, where you focus on attunement and positive regard, etc. And finally, there's summarization. That's the sixth. And you can use this. Summarization is kind of like paraphrasing, but it's when you want to summarize the whole content of what's been said, and you're piecing several pieces of information together into a coherent story. And so it just allows the other one to know that, yeah, I was heard, you tracked all that. And the interesting thing about all these is that you don't even have to agree, but you're just using these skills to help the other one be heard and feel and get in touch with their emotion. And so they're really, really valuable in communication. And it's very different than the Barbie video where we see defenses come up, and it may even start with sarcasm and be funny at first, but then these defenses come up and it starts going into this place of negative interaction, and then it's fruitless and you don't feel good about it, and so you separate. And these are just some easy ways to implement to guard against that behavior and really reduce the negative interaction and hopefully increase the positive. So out of those 6, you guys got any questions so far? Anything stand out? I can pull up the 6 here. We've got attending behavior, silence, paraphrase, clarification, reflection of feeling, summarization. Can you guys see yourselves implementing these, or what stands out with these? Anything?
When you do the reflection of feelings,
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to absorb their feelings, like when they're telling a story, you're trying to, like, I can see that being hard,
Mm-hmm.
because if you do that a little bit wrong,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like the Samuel L. Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
if an eye roll or anything comes out,
Uh-huh.
and their feelings are coming out, they're gonna be pissed. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what just go to. That one would be hard for
Yeah.
me.
Uh-huh.
Like trying to
Okay.
absorb their feelings, and then I guess it's kind of 5 and 6 together with summarization,
Mm-hmm.
because then you're trying to summarize their feelings to make them feel like you understand
Mhm.
and make them feel better about it.
Mm-hmm. So
With that,
what's good about these is oftentimes